Coming up next, the Knights and Ari Taller to be okay for Saturday's clash against Manly. Plus, Jacob Saifidi to play in Game 3 against for the New South Wales Blues against the Maroons. That's coming up next on NBN's local sports news.
Across Newcastle, Lake Macquarie and the Hunter Valley, this is NBN Local Sports News with Conor Glyn McLeod.
Tonight, the Knights and Ari Taloa to be the odd man in Saturday's game against Manly up at Brookvale. Plus, Jacob Saifidi to finally be to be in Brad Fittler's New South Wales Blues ahead of their clash with the Maroons in the decider. But first, he has been a backline mainstay for 3 seasons, but Nari Taula could be the odd man as coach Adam O'Brien sits down to choose his squad for Saturday's clash with Manly at Brookvale. In a rare luxury, O'Brien looks set to have virtually every one of his top-line players available, providing Callum Ponga and Dane Gagai for Queensland and Jacob Saifidi for New South Wales emerge intact from Wednesday's State of Origin series decider. The return of Jaden Bradley, Bradman Best and Daniel Saifidi in the past 2 weeks leaves O'Brien with basically a full complement and some selections dilemmas. The only Newcastle player who would appear in doubt for Saturday's match is young forward Pasemi Salua, who suffered a nasty head knock in last week's loss to South Sydney. Salua would normally be among the first called, but his energetic 23-minute contribution against the Rabbitohs, which included a line break, might have well provided O'Brien with food for thought. The coach faces some intruding decisions on a host of positions and perhaps selecting his centres will cause the most angst. Best, returning after being sidelined for 7 weeks with a dislocated elbow, scored a try against Souths, and it is hard to imagine O'Brien would consider dropping the 20-year-old, who was rated one of the club's brightest prospects. Like Test and Origin veteran Gagai would appear an automatic selection in Newcastle's right side centre, the role Taula filled last week against Souths. And of course, the Knights are hoping to beat Manly this Saturday. To Rugby Union and Nick White admits to feeling like his international career was dead in the water, having narrowly missing selection for the World Cup in 2015 and relocating overseas. The Hunter-bred rugby union player bid farewell to a Wallabies jersey. Now, in what he describes as a second lease of life, halfback White is approaching his 50th Test cap and has no intention of slowing down anytime soon. The 32-year-old, barring injury or team changes this week, looks set to mark the milestone when Australia and England meet to decide their 3-match series at the Sydney Cricket Ground on Saturday. Meanwhile, White told us he thought that his international career was dead in the water when he left, and he'd come to terms with it completely. Also, He remembers saying it to his wife Mel, "That's it, he's finished with the career." And also, "That's him done." He was okay with that, and as soon that he will come to terms, as he will get a phone call getting told to come back. White, um, who of course was born in Scone, was a junior for the Maitland Blacks. He's also surpassed Hunter players who previously wore the Australian number 9 jersey, like Luke Burgess, John Hipwell, Cyril Burke, Josh Valentine, Dominic Vaughan, and Steve Merrick. Up next, Maitland's Greyhound dog cards meeting washed out due to wet weather.
I'm going to buy that.
Into big business now, are we?
Nope, I'm quite happy with the small business I own, Louise.
Who are you banking with now, Bob?
Newcastle Permanent.
No, I mean your company banking.
Yeah, we're with the firm.
Didn't know they did business banking.
Well, they have done for quite some time now, Dad.
Oh, good move.
That's mine. Thank you.
Your business is in good hands with Newcastle Permanent.
They're our building society.
The big red ball from the bush to the bay. Yes, it's Lotto. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. It's the big one you want. It's the game for you. 'Cause it's the big red ball that makes dreams come true. Dreams come true. Dreams come true. The big red ball. The big red ball. It's the big red ball that makes dreams come true.
Traffic and electrical issues arising from flooding forced the abandonment of the Maitland Greyhounds meeting last night. The 10 race program was cancelled yesterday morning despite the Maitland Showground track service remaining suitable for racing. Maitland Greyhounds said the meeting was called off because of localised flooding and major road closures, which are causing traffic delays and had restricted the area around the showground to vehicles of locals and emergency services. Flooding had also affected the centre ring electrical boxes, meaning the motor was unable to be used until water levels dropped. The Maitland trial session for Wednesday was also in doubt. A call on the trials will be available by 4 p.m. Tuesday. Cricket and Jason Sanger's breakout Big Bash League campaign has earned the Newcastle run machine a contract extension that will keep him with Sydney Thunder for at least the next 2 seasons. After spending 2 full WBL seasons on the sidelines, the former Wallsend and Southern Lakes right-hander was recalled on December 19 for the Thunder's clash with Brisbane Heat and proceeded to carve out 39 from 28 balls and kickstart a run-scoring spree. The harness racing and Sawyer Gully trainer Adam Ruggery had instant success with stable addition Beneath the Shadow despite a shaky start at Newcastle Paceway yesterday. Beneath the Shadow, a 5-year-old gelding, won at Newcastle on April 1, but was having his first start for Ruggery on Monday in the 7th. to surfing, and Mayweather's Morgan sibling dropped one spot outside the championship tour qualification after 3 events on the 8-stop Challenger Series. Sibley slipped from 9th to 12th on the rankings after his second round loss in South Africa at the Bilotto Pro. Meanwhile, Ryan Callanan also lost, and so too did Philip Anderson and Sarah Bourne. Meanwhile, in the CT, Jackson Baker faces Ethan Ewing and Baron Mania in round 1 at the JB Open, which could start tonight. The golf and Charlestown professional Blake Windward will be out to reignite his European Challenge Tour campaign in the Ram Bank Open in Austria, starting on Thursday, and thankfully his clubs are with him. Windward has spent the past month competing in the Asian Tour and the Live Invitational Series. And that's about it from all the latest news from NBN and from all of us here. Good night.